Hey there, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Max.
And we're cruising Israel for ILTV. So Max, today we're going to go to a place that will probably be a little bit more fun for me than for you.
Oh?
Yeah?
Why do you say that?
Well, if you're into bedazzled jewels and accessories and all these different things, then you may like it. We're about to step into Michal Negrin's fantasy world.
All right. Sounds great for you. Well, let's hit it.
Let's go. We're about to step into the world of the most successful Israeli jewelry artist around. Michal Negrin has definitely made her mark in the industry, and today we're going to see how she reached international fame. My inner child came out as soon as I walked into the shop that felt more like a museum of bedazzled jewels. Before going into the factory to learn about Michal Negrin's life and how she rose to international success, I decided to play dress up. How do I look? After enjoying a delicious coffee and cake, we started our tour by watching a short video on the successful artist's humble beginnings. Growing up on a kibbutz society, everyone is raised to be equal, so it was a bit of a challenge to branch out on her own. But she followed her dreams and opened up her very first store in Tel Aviv. And today, she has a bit more than just one store.
We have 70 branches all over the world. We have, which is including Israel, which we have 20 branches here in Israel.
Despite her global success, all the manufacturing is done only in one place, right here in the factory.
These girls over here are the only one that makes jewelry for Michal Negrin. We have 375 colors, combination of colors. Each one is different from the other. And when we receive an order, we can see it in our order, the name of the item, the identity code, and also the code Z. That means what is the number that the women requested to order as.
Now this could be an earring, a ring, or
everything. Yeah, the combination of the color can be in a bracelet, can be in a ring, everything that she wants. She can order the color that she likes, and the girls will make it for her.
Michal Negrin's empire started out with just a jewelry line, but then widely expanded to clothing, shoes, home decor, and other accessories. The clothing is all designed digitally. Let's see how the process is done.
The designer sits on the computer with Michal, decides about the color, everything, where it's going to be on the graphic on the dress or the shirt, everywhere.
The design is printed on very large pieces of paper and then pressed onto the fabric.
This is the new collection that we are making now. It's going to be out at March really soon.
So is this supposed to be a
skirt? It's going to be a dress.
A dress?
Yeah.
Wow, it's beautiful. It's a very interesting way of making clothing. It is then taken to a room where the factory workers handcraft each piece of clothing and include the final touches. As we can see, everything here is handmade, and a Michal Negrin dress is not complete without Swarovski crystals. Michal Negrin's shops around the world are an exact replica of her living room, with each colorful pattern depicting a joyful fantasy world.
Michal is going there with her staff and architecture and design all of the shops. They start with 4 white walls. What you see here, the wall covering, the green wall covering, all the dolls, the chandeliers. Over there, the sofas, all the things that she used here, the plastic flowers.
The future of Michal Negrin's line incorporates new styles from Michal's daughter, Jasmine.
I love to take her designs and combine it with my style, which is more urban or more casual. I mean, I would wear jeans with like over-the-top blouse, but it would look great because it makes it look more like younger and everyday and affordable.
So with the help of her daughter's influence and the enduring legacy of her original products, Michal Negrin is sure to be an Israeli icon for years to come.
Wow, Natalie, that was more interesting than I thought it would be. And they even gave me this little thing here to re-gift to somebody. Yeah, not bad.
I also got one.
Holy smokes. Wow, they took good care of you over there.
Yeah, they did. So Max, our next activity, I'm
What are we
wondering,
doing?
do you like wine?
Who doesn't? There's so many different kinds.
Yes,
you got all the
there is.
different varieties.
Do you know what fortified wine means?
You know what? I don't, but I'm assuming it means they're adding something to the wine.
Yes, so today we're gonna make wine with these two cans. Let's go to HaKormim Winery.
Cool, let's do it.
We visited many different wineries in the past, but never one like this. This was the very first winery in Israel and produces millions of bottles a year. It's every girl's dream to be surrounded by this much wine, and today we're going to learn the process of wine production and the history of HaKormim Winery. But first, a little taste. Not more than one glass of wine a day, my friends. Dating back to 1848, it all started in the Old City. HaKormim Winery produced kosher wine for the Jewish people of Jerusalem during the Ottoman Empire, which only consisted of around 2,000 people. As the state of Israel grew over the years, so did the winery. The wine was distributed for not only local consumption, but is exported to many Jewish communities around the world.
The winery starts to grow when the family starts to export our wines. We start to make fortified wine just for the export. Actually, we take the wine, we put more alcohol inside it from brandy, and the wine now it's safe for the trip to Europe.
So why don't you walk us through the process today on how to make this conditor wine?
So we start with the Konditor Masoret. This is the basic Konditor. It's more freshy. It's around 1 year in a barrel, in the big barrels.
Wow, look at those wine barrels. Have you seen the size of those things? The fresh Konditon wine is 14%, and the goal is to bring it up to 18% by mixing in some aged brandy. And for the sweetness of the wine, it is mixed in with some herbal extracts and other ingredients as well.
So we start with fresh Konditon, and we keep some sample for the end, so we can
Taste the difference?
taste the difference between the wines. But this is the
Wow, it's strong stuff. Okay.
This is mostly from the leaves, but also from the seeds. Mostly the leaves. It all is grow around Jerusalem.
Okay. It's going in.
This is called Sheba.
Okay. Put it in here.
Everything is natural that we made by ourselves.
So we're mixing 8 different flavors into the mix.
Next one is secret. But it's secret, yeah, but it includes saffron.
These small amounts of all natural herbal extracts make a huge difference in the flavor. This is going to be a very flavorful wine.
After that, it must be. And we did not start with the brandy.
Okay, the very last flavor. I see it has some
Yeah.
seeds in it.
Yeah, it's called in Hebrew elata mastic.
Smells good.
In Arab, it's called mastika. The smell reminds green almonds.
And now for the tasting test, and we didn't even add brandy or fresh wine, so it's a smelling test, not a tasting test.
Put your nose and your mouth inside, not your eyes.
Wow, it's a very strong smell. The next step is adding the fresh wine from the stainless steel tank into the mixer through a plastic tube.
Fresh wine, this is a mix of Petit Verdot, Cabernet Sauvignon, and Caladoc.
The barrels behind us contain different kinds of brandy, and now we're gonna see which one we're gonna include into the mix. So you like this one?
You can see a small difference in the color.
Here we have a sample of brandy from barrel 55.
What is it?
I think we're gonna go with 56.
Let's see.
So let's look for barrel number 56, and there it is. This one's the winner. It's getting added to the mix.
We work with the old tricks, no machinery, like my grandfather do that.
Each barrel contains 12 to 18 liters of brandy.
So we have the basic herbs, the fresh wine, the brandy. Now the next ingredient is Ceylon. Now we add the amount of the Ceylon.
And now for the last ingredient, this adds the sweetness to the wine. Date honey, called Ceylon in Hebrew. Look at that thick texture. It's made especially for HaKormim Winery. So here we can see the difference between the raw conditon before we added all the other different ingredients. And this is almost the final product.
Before, take a smell from this one. Now,
Wow, this has much more flavor to it. It's thicker.
when I smell that smell, it came good to my nose. I know the aging process will be good.
The wine will go into the aging process for 24 months in the oak's barrels. Then it is ready for consumption.
So you can came 2 years more and see the bubbling process.
In 2 years we'll be back and see the kind of wine that we made. The kosher winery holds a deep connection to the land and will continue to serve the people for many years to come.
So Natalie,
Yes.
do you ever miss that American-style meal, the big burger and fries, a big milkshake?
Of course.
Great, me
Please
too.
tell me you know a place.
I absolutely do. There's a place right in between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, the Elvis Inn.
Ooh, the Elvis Inn.
Yeah, not only do they have all kind of great American foods, but also kind of a cool Elvis-y theme going on in there.
All right, sounds great. I'm trusting you.
All
Take
right,
me there
let's
safely.
do it.
Now, if you think there's no connection between the Holy Land and the king of rock and roll, you may be right. But that didn't stop his worldwide influence from reaching Israel. We're here at the Elvis Inn to see what it's all about. Let's go. The most iconic rock and roll legend that significantly changed the music industry has gained international stardom long after his passing. His name was heard everywhere, the radio, the TV, and even on the big screen. If you lived through the Elvis era, then you'll remember the king's reign. Wow, this place is unbelievable. Every inch of the restaurant is covered with Elvis-themed pictures and mugs and Elvis figurines. His looks, his provocative moves, and love of rock and roll all contributed to his everlasting fame. I think it's time to meet the man behind the Elvis craze. It's like an American diner in the 50s.
Bon appetit.
Yummy. Wow, I haven't had anything like this since I was a child.
Oh yeah?
So, you're obviously a very big Elvis fan. When did this whole restaurant, Elvis-themed restaurant, begin?
Well, it's began about 42 years ago. It was a very small place. I put the pictures behind the cashier.
Okay.
And people came and said, wow, it's so beautiful, Elvis. And then people came and put another picture and another picture. And
So it
It
started
start-
out just with one photo of
yes,
Elvis.
yes.
So I noticed also you have these custom-made Elvis-themed bottles,
Yes.
wine bottles.
Yes.
Where do you produce this wine?
It's a grape from our land here, and it's Cabernet Sauvignon. It's American style. We have a very big and good hamburger. People like it. Hamburger is the best. And we have also Israeli food, like hummus, like kebab, like steaks, everything, yeah?
Do you think Elvis enjoyed some hummus?
Well, Elvis liked different food.
Yeah.
And I like a banana with some jam and
The restaurant is situated on the road between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, in a small Arab-Israeli village called Abu Ghosh.
And the people from all, when they come to Jerusalem, to visit Jerusalem, the first stop is here. From one side we have Arab, very good friends of mine, Abu Ghosh. And from the other side we have religious people from New York.
Jews.
Yes. And from the other side also, I have Yad HaShmona is Christian. So we are
Mixture.
mixed population, yes.
So you guys play Elvis's music 24/7 in the
24/7,
restaurant?
yes, yeah.
So what would you say your favorite song is by Elvis?
I think the most beautiful song of Elvis is It's Now or Never. Beautiful.
Here at the Elvis Inn, you can order a cup of coffee and take home your very own custom-made Elvis mug. And here behind me you can see a lot of different souvenirs that you could buy. Uri receives visitors from all over the world. We even happened to stumble upon a tour group that had just arrived from the airport.
I just received a group from Romania in Ben Gurion Airport. We are on the way to Jerusalem. And my first stop is here because they really enjoy. They asked me, that is Israel. This is. I told them Israel is all of those things. It's also modern Israel, and we love very much. We enjoy here.
From the checkered floors to the bar stools and even the giant milkshakes, the Elvis Inn has everything you would find in an American diner. Now it's time to see if the food matches its theme. Elvis was known for his love of food, and this is a burger that even he would love. So while it may be thousands of miles away from Graceland, it might just be the next best thing.
So, Natalie, it's been an awfully long week. You must be exhausted.
You too. You're schlepping around the camera and the equipment everywhere.
That's my job. But I'd imagine you're probably needing a little relaxation.
You read my mind, Max. How about a spa day?
Nobody knows spending a day in the spa quite like you, Natalie.
You're right, Max. Do you know any good places?
Actually, yeah, right in the center of Jerusalem is the Mamila Hotel. They got something great there. You want to go check it out?
Yes, back to Jerusalem.
Let's do it.
In the very heart of Jerusalem, this luxury hotel is within walking distance to historic gems like the Tower of David, the Jaffa Gate, and exotic markets. Situated in the Mamila neighborhood, which was built in the 19th century, is now home to an upscale shopping center, the Mamila Hotel, and residences. High above the city, the rooftop is the perfect place to be during sunset hours. Up here on the rooftop bar, you can see a magnificent view of the old city. And after a long day of touring in Jerusalem, you could come to the rooftop, have a nice drink. The rooftop doesn't only have a trendy bar, but also a restaurant overlooking this breathtaking view. The award-winning spa in Mamila Hotel called Akasha is what I'm really looking forward to. With an organic lounge, you can enjoy some refreshments and healthy treats while you wait. And it's time for my treatment. Today I'm getting a deep tissue massage. This concentrates on the deep layers of the muscles in the body and helps ease stress and tension. Well, I just finished my deep tissue massage treatment and it was amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Glad to hear.
Yeah, and I loved how he just focused at the pressure points and stretched me out a little bit. It was great. Why don't you tell us about the spa?
So what makes this spa very special that it's based on the 4 elements. Each part of the spa is based on that element. So you have, of course, the water, the earth, and the fire. The treatments are based on the same elements, also based on astrological signs. So if your sign, for example, Cancer, water, then we will recommend you to have water treatments.
Which is the Watsu treatment?
Which is the Watsu, for example, or the Hammam. Highly recommended, and which are also signature treatments to the spa, and also you have jet lag treatments, etc.
Okay, so I'm a Leo, so that's a fire sign.
Correct.
What spa treatment would that?
I definitely would recommend the Ayurveda, which is very with temperature and hot and hot, actually with the hot oil, warm oil.
Alongside the finest upscale shopping mall of the city, Mamila Arlov Avenue, as well as the hotel, is all part of the Mamila project, designed by renowned Israeli architect Moshe Safdie.
The speciality is combining old and new. So you have a restoration, restored buildings in the project, and the hotel itself has 2 restored buildings, and of course the center building is a modern new building.
The traditional Jerusalem stones are seen all around restored buildings of the hotel. The traditional Jerusalem stones are seen all around the restored buildings of the hotel, and in the modern building you'll find limestones, which is from mountains surrounding Jerusalem. Safdie received many awards and recognition for his work. And I noticed that there were numbers on each stone
Correct.
of the hotel. What is that all about?
That's part of history. These are, since they are restored buildings 20 years ago, before we broke the buildings apart, we marked each tile. And each tile, once we rebuilt the building, each tile got its original historical location. And we kept the digits for people to ask question about the project and for us to connect them to history.
Yeah, combining the modern hotel
Definitely.
with the history of Jerusalem.
Definitely, definitely.
The Italian interior designer Piero Lissoni combines different styles seen around the world into the hotel.
Seeing Jerusalem as the center of the world and connecting all styles, connecting all cultures, and through cultures and styles and art, you bring people together.
He's known for his contemporary design and has worked for the most notable design companies in the world.
One of his design is this lamp. It's called, actually, we're all one, but each one of us is an individual.
The partnership between the two renowned architects and designers creates a unique ambience. So for those of you who want to experience ultimate luxury in the heart of the City of Gold, Mamila Hotel is the one. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching.
Join us next week as we take you to all the best places Israel has to offer.
Bye-bye.
Bye.